Discretion is advised. Your mama black.
This program contains language and sequences some viewers may find disturbing.
Robert, thank you. New at 4:30, reports of scary encounters from several women walking along the beach in the early evening.
We started looking into this after our own news director was recently followed home from a beach access point by a man wearing dark clothes with his face hidden with a hoodie.
The police officer looking into her case told her the man sounded similar to the person who reportedly assaulted a woman along the beach just weeks prior.
Amy Littman had a chance to talk directly to that woman about what happened.
Yes, Angie Doran told me the beach is where she goes to relax, but on November 22nd, it became the setting of a real-life nightmare. Doran says she went for a walk on the beach near 48th Avenue North after work around 5:15 in the evening to decompress when she saw a man with a dark hoodie up over his head walking toward her. She says she turned around to walk back, and he came up behind her and grabbed her. The police report says she told the officer the man groped her and thrust his pelvis toward her before pushing her to the ground and running away. She says she was very scared and screamed, but nobody was around. She got up to walk back home, warned two people along the way that someone was around who had just attacked her, and then called police when she got home.
It was pretty bad. I mean, I've tried not to lose my independence, you know. I do still walk on the beach. Most of the time it is with my husband, but sometimes I do go out there by myself because I can't let this person take that away from me. Or anybody.
Just a few weeks before Doran's reported assault, a woman told police a man came up to her near 64th Avenue North, said, "Excuse me," then exposed himself to her. Police say that happened around 6:30 at night on October 30th. He was also described as wearing a black sweatshirt with the hood pulled up over his head, but the woman was able to provide a more detailed description on his appearance, saying he was a light-skinned black male between 20 and 25 years old. However, Myrtle Beach police say the subjects in these cases cannot be linked without further descriptions or information. Live in the studio, Amy Littman, WNBF.
Also on 7, a homeless man accused of rape, carjacking, and armed robbery, now caught and cuffed. 43-year-old Calvin Thomas, seen right here, arrested this morning and charged with sexual battery, that is, and carjacking. Now, according to investigators, he raped a woman and stole her vehicle near Northwest 95th Street and 27th Avenue. Officials say he's a registered sex offender. Police say on Tuesday he robbed a Family Dollar store at gunpoint. He's now behind bars on a $24,000 bond.
Salem Missionary Baptist Church on East 33rd Street has been in Houston for more than 80 years. But now this holy house has been rocked by a scandal.
And I'll be up there in front of the church talking about God spoke to me. Did he speak to you before or after you made the videos?
Pastor Hosea Stubblefield has led the flock at Salem for the last year, but some in the congregation at the 100-member church want him out. This is after a Houston woman who said she once dated the 32-year-old divorced pastor had posted some of the sex videos of Reverend Stubblefield with various women on her blog. Those videos have since been taken down. We've actually seen the video and verified it is Stubblefield with members of the congregation, and the video is too explicit to show on television. Craig Davis is a head deacon and trustee at the church. Stubblefield also dated his daughter, and now he wants him out of the pulpit.
Disgusting, because I trusted and believed. I had been working with him for over a year before he became our pastor. I sent him veteran pastor sermons, and it just was disgusting knowing that I was betrayed.
Davis says he told the pastor to leave earlier this month, but he refused. Davis says last Sunday Stubblefield admitted to making the videos in front of the congregation, but he said it was 2 years ago.
Your pastoral conduct, you've been in the ministry for so long, and you're going around sleeping with different women, and if they were from 2 years ago, that shows that he was committing adultery because he was married and he just got divorced with his wife.
Lacobian Lewis is also a member of the church. He says he will never return until the pastor has been removed.
Because he didn't preach multiple times about fornication, about shacking up. And to find out you've been making sex tapes throughout your whole adult life, recently, 2 or 3 years ago, and you're a man of God at the highest point, in the church.
Now, we had a chance to speak to Reverend Stubblefield on the phone, and he acknowledges making the video, saying he regrets doing it. But he also says they were made 2 years ago, and a woman who stole them from him was using them to blackmail him, but he apologizes. Isaiah Carey, Fox 26 News.
After his arrest, a Raleigh man is out of jail on bond after police found him peeping through a woman's window. WRAL's Candace Sweat joins us now live from the Raleigh Police Department. Candace, the suspect has been arrested for this same crime before?
Right, Catherine. Records indicate that Ellison Baker has been arrested at least twice since 2007 for secret peeping. Now, we spoke with residents in the area that he was caught this time around, and many of them, as you can understand, don't want to go on camera. But all of them said this is not the kind of news they want to hear during the holidays, but they are glad that he's been caught.
Police say it happened Thursday night in this neighborhood on Quail Forest Drive in Raleigh. Officers responded to reports of a man peeping into windows of an apartment. We're told when the officers arrived on the scene, they spotted 34-year-old Elliston Baker. When Baker realized he'd been spotted, he ran, but was caught shortly after and taken into custody. Marcus McLeod has lived in the area for roughly 3 years and says he's never heard of anything like this.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. You hear about it all the time, but you don't think it's like here, yeah.
This isn't Baker's first run-in with law enforcement for the exact same offense. In 2007, he was arrested in Wake County for secret peeping, and again in 2010. McLeod says information like this makes him more cautious and protective of his wife.
Now that I'm married, it's like, yeah, my wife doesn't go out after, I don't want her going out after, it gets dark.
And police say they are considering this a sex offense. Baker has been released on a $1,000 bond.
Volunteers will hand out flyers hoping for information about the death of 16-year-old Desiree Robinson. Her body was found here in a garage in south suburban Markham. She'd suffered multiple injuries. Investigators don't know whether there's a link between Robinson and anyone else who lived at the home.
A 16-year-old California girl is safe this morning from a sex trafficking ring, and it is all because of a quick-thinking Uber driver. 10 News reporter Sarah Hollenbeck is live outside our studios. And Sarah, that driver's one decision may have saved this teen's life.
Yeah, Jenny, for Keith Avila, picking up people in his car for Uber every day is nothing different than what he does every single day, day in and day out. But it wasn't until he let 3 women into his car, 2 women and 1 teenager, that things started to get really weird in Sacramento, California, and he thought something here just isn't right. But then take a look. He put up this Facebook video just seconds after police came and arrested the 2 sex traffickers, and now this video is going viral, and it's all because Avila paid close attention and wasn't scared to call 911. Avila just had that feeling in his gut, that you get when something isn't right. And the 16-year-old's clothes, he said, were just a little bit too scandalous for a teenager. And as he closely listened into the group's conversation, he heard the women instruct the girl how to treat the customer. One thought consumed his mind.
My only thought in my mind was to get this girl out. I thought I was going to a house. My only thing in my mind was get this girl out of that house.
Now, once they got inside of the hotel, Avila called 911 and police arrested these 2 women, 25-year-old Destiny Petway and 31-year-old Maria Wesley. It turns out the girl had been reported missing. And this is a really scary thing to think about. Sure, this happened in California, but in Florida, we're the #1 place for a human trafficking hub. And also, they just found out, as they've been calculating the data, that this is the 2nd biggest crime in the U.S. after illegal drugs. And that's why police say everything that Avila did was perfectly right, and they hope you would have the courage to do the same thing he did. Back to you.